Sheria. Mwananchi, tabia zako ziko chini, unapenda kulipa hongo na kutumia njia za uongo, una mipango na hata watoto wa kando, haujui hata majina yao. Kura yako uliuza maini figo, ukakulia hadi dini, kisha wasema tukuthamini, na wewe hapo hauaminiki, na wewe hapo haupangiki.
Wapi kidero when you need to slap somebody? Complain ufisadi, kwani ulidhani t-shirt 50 bob leso siku ya campaign ilikuwa free? Ni 5 year loan investment, utalipa kingia parliament. We are one, amani we are one. Na utumishi kwa wote, utu missing CCTV we were watching. Racial insecurity na job opportunity ni kama mti ya kibiriti. Side moja heavy, usiniambie Kenya kuna umaskini, kwani hizi fat fingers zinaibia nane? Maskando inatuletea wa survival. Media define leadership, na sura ukiaka front page na improve readership. Ambia wase wa Twitter wa hashtag hii ama hash reality doesn't make a good TT. Commission of inquiry, wanakula commission bila kutupa ukweli. Ni kubaya, baka kukiwa kuzuri unashindwa nini mbaya. Machozi ya perpetrator ineza dilute damu ya victim ilimwagika. After all is said and done, all will be said, nothing will be done. You're not my tribe, but you're my blood type. Like it doesn't have to take tragedy to know that.
Sheria.
Wapi kidero when you need to slap somebody. That's Sheria by my faves, Sarabi, together with Mr. Giuliani. Karibu sana to this, our evening show on Monday. This is Sheria Dive right here on Power Radio with me, WaNjeri. Always a pleasure to have you on board. How is your Monday? I hope you've had a good start to the week. Kuna watu mpatana now, it's like they wish this was a Friday. On Monday, bro. Hey, hiyo ni wiki mrefu. But are we naming names? You're not naming names, you know, because that's what we do. Anyway, fantastic show we have lined up for you. And today, we actually get to talk about something that's happening tomorrow, the impeachment, the first process. You know, I don't know why people are behaving like tomorrow is all in all. Hey, let me tell you guys, impeachment of a deputy president is not a laughing matter. It's a very long process. And that process has to be adhered to meticulously, step by step. Comprende? Yep. Anyway, remember, we're looking for your comments and your thoughts and your feedback and your questions as well. We're here and happy to answer them. You can do that on the YouTube live chat at Power Radio on the live chat. And also, if you'd like to ask any questions through the socials, our social handles are at Power Radio, at WaNjeri, and I'll be happy to just respond to some of those things. But of course, some of the things happening in this country is that no one can explain what SHIF is and how SHIF works. Imagine, hata minister manze ameulizwa maswali hapo anatetemeka. What's happening at the Ministry of Health? I feel like that ministry, since Mr. What was his name? If we continue to treat this thing normally, Mr. Mutai, I think I'll gonna try, but he's a PR guy, so I guess that was working for him. But Nakumicha gone, and now we have Barasa, and she can't tell you by the way what is happening here. Anyway, that's our country. A couple of bills coming to Parliament, some of them trying to regulate where you can have your protests. Also, there's a protected, there's a bill that seeks to gazette what are the protected areas, which means that then you cannot also take Mandamano to those places. And I've seen Parliament and State House on that list. These guys want to make sure you do not ever take that trip to Parliament in the name of Mandamano. Anyway, we're going to be looking at that when we come back. But of course, karibuni sana to the show today as we take a step-by-step guide on what the Constitution provides. Because remember, impeachment is actually a legal process. And the Constitution of Kenya 2010 lays out a roadmap that helps us to know how to deal with impeachment. But for now, let's get some music. And then when we come back, we begin our story at Article 148. Let's go.
My angel in disguise, sent from heaven just to give my broken heart another chance. When ni malaika wangu, every single time you are away, my heart forgets just how to be. And maybe I should let you know, even if the earth should fly away, I'd find a way to you. Maybe I should let you know. Every single night I ask the Lord to keep you safe for me. The moonlight in the dark, shining brighter than the brightest star will ever see. Malaika nakupenda, na kila saa you're far away, my heart forgets just how to be. And maybe I should let you know that even if the earth should fly away, I'd find a way. And maybe I should let you know, yeah. Every single night I ask the Lord to keep you safe for me. Maybe I should let you know that even if the earth should fly away, I'll find a way to you.
Even if the earth should fly away, I'll find my way to you. Wow, beautiful. Have you been told that today? Anyway, it is what it is. You know what, guys? Choose your struggle. Anyway, our conversation on the impeachment of the Deputy President, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. Remember, in this show, we actually don't usually focus on personalities. Here, we are talking about what the law is. Lays out how you remove a deputy president. It's actually known as, the article is known as removal of deputy president. And this is what the Article 150 says. The deputy president of Kenya may be removed from office. Number one, on the ground of physical or mental incapacity to perform the functions of the office. All right. There is a possibility, let's say for physical incapacity, where you've become so sick, there's a country in West Africa, I won't mention names because you never know where you'll be applying for a visa. But there's a country in West Africa where the president has been living abroad for the last how many years. The guy got sick and he's not leaving. He's not leaving that place. And so in Kenya, if the deputy president has physical incapacity, then he can be impeached. The other thing as well is mental incapacity. And for mental incapacity, it's important because remember, if you don't have mental capacity, there are some decisions you cannot make. But also, if you do not have mental capacity, can you really be trusted to make decisions that are going to affect the lives of 50 million or so Kenyans, all right? Now, the other option to remove a deputy president is on impeachment. So there are only really two grounds. The first ground to remove them is physical or mental incapacity, or can be removed by way of impeachment. Now, on impeachment, you have three issues that you must look at. Number one, it must be on the ground of a gross violation of a provision of the Constitution or any other law. And gross violation is not just violation, it's very serious violation. Okay? So if the deputy president has grossly violated a provision of the Constitution or any other law, then he can be impeached. Number two, where there are serious reasons to believe that the deputy president has committed a crime under national or international law, okay? So if the deputy president has been found or there are serious reasons to believe this gentleman or this lady has actually broken the law, the national law, which means these are the laws of the Republic of Kenya, or international law, okay, then they can be impeached. And finally, they can also be impeached for gross misconduct. Now, the Constitution is very clear on those grounds, but it's also very quiet on what exactly constitutes gross misconduct. What is a gross violation of the Constitution or a gross violation of the law, right? How do you determine that a deputy president has broken the law or committed a crime, especially where he's not actually gone to court and the court has found him guilty? Because Article 150 is clear that it's about there being serious reasons to believe, which means the deputy president does not even need to have been convicted as a criminal by the court for impeachment proceedings to be taken against them. But also, what exactly does gross misconduct mean? Now, those in employment spaces will tell you, gross misconduct, for instance, ukiingia pale kazi umelewa, that's gross misconduct, you can be terminated for it, right? So it's essentially considered any actions that are considered severe, okay? So there you go. So it leaves a lot of room. And perhaps one could say, why does a constitution leave so much room? Because remember, impeachment is a parliamentary process. And you have to leave that room so that, because things change, generation to generation, group to group. The people themselves have to decide, is this something that we can classify as gross misconduct? Is this something that we can classify as a crime? Is this something that we can classify as a gross violation of a provision of the Constitution? Now, the other thing as well is this, that Articles 144 and 145 that relate to the removal of the president shall also apply with the necessary modifications to the removal of the deputy president. So when we come back, we begin with Article 144. What does it require when you are impeaching the president or the deputy president? Of course, all eyes are on Parliament tomorrow. Tomorrow in Parliament, we're going to see parliamentarians taking a vote on whether the impeachment proceedings should go ahead. And also perhaps we'll be hearing what the public participation was and what the people said. Keep it here when you come back. Article 144 on what the Constitution provides should be followed in the process of impeachment. Let's go.
Usiku wa joto, usiku wa manane, usiku usioishia, kati katikati ya Julai tulikuwa na furaha, hatuku stress na you high. Tulijua tu city lights ya Nairobi, they shine so bright. Oh, remember dancing in the moonlight up until the sunrise. Strobe lights glaring oh so bright. Katikati ya July, ya July, ya July, ya July. Skin to skin, follow the beat the whole night. Oh, we'd be disco queens, but that was way before our time. Our life is out, so we take it. So let's run naked, paint the city pink. We deserve to take it. Let's get our lick back, fight the system, we can break it. Chase our dreams until we make it. Dancing in the moonlight up until the sunrise. Strobe lights glaring oh so bright. Katikati ya July, ya July, ya July, ya July.
You see, addicted, you got my body lifted. Girl, you're so gifted, I never should have ifed it. Don't believe I missed it. How did I not get this? Leave me so breathless, leave me so helpless. Shame on the pain that I feel is in your name. Yet again, I'll be floating like a KLM plane. My game should back this dame, but she's so against me like a kid in broccoli. Sorry, let me speak properly, but she bad to the bone, so she oughta know me. Slowly, I will approach thee, stroke on my goatee, then introduce me. No need to blame it on the booze, cause girl, I know you wanna get loose. In truth, I'm a real sweet dude, so this song is for you. I'm addicted to you.
Hey, I never saw it coming. Something about you that I just keep wanting, and I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so deep.
Yeah. Young Cass. There go. Kiss my pretty lady. Yeah, you drive me crazy. Like I'm blindfolded, high rolling in a Mercedes. In one word, baby girl, you're amazing. Yeah, you got me sprung, baby. Can I have you daily? Want you by my side, baby, if I had a wish. Always need you there to give me a little kiss. From day one, I knew it would be like this. I'm loving your swagger, baby, you so glamorous. Yes, my pretty mommy, or should I call you darling? Be my princess and I can be your prince charming. We can hold hands in the sands in Malawi. Then we set sails on our way to Diani. I'll take you where the weather is sunny, and it's all on me, baby girl, don't bring no money. I got a chef if you ever feel hungry. Breakfast in bed, eyes red, late in the morning. Cass.
I never saw it coming. There's something about you that I just keep wanting, and I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so deep. I see, me. And oh, hey, I got you. No matter what we go through, we'll be cool. No matter what they say, you'll be my dude. Me plus you. Ooh, hey, I never saw it coming. Something about you that I just keep wanting. And I don't know what else to say. I never ever felt this way. You got me so way deep, deep. I see, T, E, D, D, D. I see, T, E, D.
Yeah, that's Kamula. Of course, one of my faves of all time. Karun was at Blankets. I don't know how that went. Tunangoja maoni and photos, guys. Those went to Blankets. But of course, bringing it back to the question of the impeachment of the deputy president that is set to continue tomorrow. Now, this is a process under Article 145 of the Constitution. And Article 144 provides for impeachment on grounds of incapacity. So here we're talking about physical incapacity and mental incapacity. However, when the impeachment is because of the conduct of the office holder, we deal with that under Article 145. Now, this is what it provides. A member of the National Assembly, supported by at least a third of all the members, may move a motion for the impeachment of the president. So the motion is first moved by a member, and they need to have at least 1/3 support. And they have to list their grounds, because there are only 3 grounds, remember. Number 1, there was a gross violation of a provision of the Constitution or of any other law. Number 2, there are serious reasons for believing that the president has committed a crime under national or international law. Or number 3, for gross misconduct. Now, if a motion under Clause 1 is supported by at least 2/3 of all the members of the National Assembly, then the next step becomes the Speaker informs the Speaker of the Senate of that resolution within 2 days. So what will be happening tomorrow in Parliament is that the parliamentarians will be taking a vote on whether the motion that has been presented to impeach Mr. Gachagua should go through. If 2/3 of parliamentarians support it, then it has passed and it goes to the next step. If they are unable to get 2/3, then it does not pass. Now, there have been some questions. Is it 2/3 of the people inside Parliament, physically, or is it 2/3 of the total number of parliamentarians? You'll also note that we have several constituencies that have not been filled. For instance, we have the 2 ministers from ODM who, we have the 2 individuals who become ministers and they had their constituencies. IEBC has not been constituted. So there's that question, and I think that's a question that the courts perhaps will find themselves having to answer. But my understanding of it is that the total number of members of parliament we have in Kenya, you need to have 2/3 of that. So if a seat is vacant, there is no MP there. If an MP has died, that's it. And it's not about who is present in the chamber. It's actually about the total number of members of parliament. So if 2/3 of MPs tomorrow vote in favor of that motion, then Mr. Honorable Wetangula, who is the Speaker of the Parliament, shall inform Mr. Amason Kingi, who is the Speaker of the Senate, of that resolution within 2 days. And 2, the Deputy President shall continue to perform the functions of the office pending the outcome of the proceedings required by this article. So remember, a vote tomorrow, even if it's in favor of impeachment, does not mean that he's out of office. He continues to carry out his functions in his office until the impeachment goes all the way through. Now, what happens at the Senate? Within 7 days after receiving the notice of a resolution from the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate then convenes a meeting of the Senate to hear the charges against the Deputy President. And the Senate, by resolution, may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. So the Senate is more of the investigating body. The Parliament is the accuser, and the Senate now investigates. And they can create an 11-member committee. And the work of this 11-member committee is to look at the charges that have been set forth and determine, have those charges actually been proven to the required standard. Now, Once that special committee has been appointed, their work is number one, to investigate the matter. And then secondly, they will then report to the Senate within 10 days whether it finds the particulars of the allegations against the deputy president to have been substantiated. So remember, the report can be, here are the charges, they've not been substantiated. On the other hand, it can be, here are the charges, they've been substantiated, so go ahead with it. Of course, the deputy president shall have the right to appear and be represented before the special committee during its investigations. And I think we've seen a lot of this with impeachment of governors. So we are looking at more so the same thing, where the lawyers will be present, questions will be asked. If there'll be witnesses, they'll come and give their witness testimony and they'll be cross-examined. Now, if the special committee that is based in the Senate reports that the particulars of any allegation against the deputy president have not been substantiated, further proceedings shall not be undertaken under this article in respect of that allegation. So if they find this has not been proven, it will not be considered any longer. This is done at the committee level, okay? But if they find that some allegations have been substantiated, the Senate shall, after according the deputy president an opportunity to be heard, vote on the impeachment charges. So, for instance, we have 11 charges. If they find none of the 11 has been substantiated, then the impeachment story ends there. But if they find 2 out of 11 have been substantiated, then he will now be invited to defend himself on those 2. He will be given an opportunity to be heard. Because remember, in Kenya, our constitution is very clear. You cannot condemn a man unheard. All right? Then, what happens now that the report has presented its report? The special committee has presented its report in the Senate. So what happens? The senators then have to vote. So if at least 2/3 of all the members of the Senate vote to uphold the impeachment charge, then the deputy president shall cease to hold office. All right? So 2/3 in Parliament to bring the motion to the Senate, and 2/3 in the Senate for the impeachment to pass. Now, if you look at this timeline, if Parliament votes tomorrow, then within 2 days they have to present that report, isn't it? They have to present that motion to the Senate. Now, that 2 days takes us Wednesday, Thursday. All right, by Thursday it needs to have been given. Then within 7 days of receiving, so we're talking about by next week Thursday, a meeting has to have been convened of the Senate to hear the charges against the president. All right, then a special committee is chosen, all right, or selected to investigate the matter. That special committee has to then file its report within 10 days. So we are now looking at 17 days, or actually 19, because of the period that is required. And then the voting now then happens. So we are actually looking at this dragging on for another 15 to 30 days, depending on the speed with which Parliament is able to move. When we come back, we now ask the question, what happens if they vote yes and Mr. Gachagua is impeached? What are the president's next steps? Do we vote for a new deputy president? Is a new one selected? What exactly happens? We're going to be looking at that. Remember, this is unprecedented in Kenya. A deputy president has never been impeached. Actually, the last high-level sort of impeachment, if you'd call it that, we came to was the removal of the Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Baraza a few years ago. And of course, we've had governors being removed. So this is actually very, very new and fresh territory. But luckily for us, we have the Constitution guiding us. And we will have the lawyers guiding that process, of course. So when we come back, what happens if the impeachment sails through? Of course, if the impeachment does not sail through, then we are back to business. And Adani will have passed, Chief will have passed, then we'll look up and realize, oh my God, it was a ruse all along. Anyway, Kenya ni home.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
South C, South B, 111, 23, West D, can't get me, nah, I don't need, nah, money, baby. Ain't no city like my city, oh no, no, no. Nairobi, they can do it like
wana wave ka mix za dema kufu vile na bounce kwa hit track ukipenda hala chuchu jiwe mayoyo hey we got the nunu I'm in love with my city boss I'm going kuku hey hini ya madem wale ukulenga mtaani mkikutana Nairobi wana wave kwa mbali luku ni ya wadhi utadhani Tamford saya kinenge shika mavanga Sanford hey niko idha mapararira kanganya big up my hustlers wanaotamak my foreigners wale makwa wamehama machoko shwale jiji kwa pia ni mama I'm keeping it real keeping it local I'm so raw original flow though and Nairobi ay it's magic when I'm on the mic mzee ay
ain't no city like my city oh no Nairobi they can do it like we do it in the 254 Nairobi
Gigi
my hustler my damn super
hey
I'm riding buru I love my city oh yes I do
Nairobi
my body kileleshwa embakase langata dagorete kibera nakayole dandora Nairobi tukorada kauna bifa hopni abama bama hituni natuleta pamoja chama tupate mitatu nazama ama eo ni kama tumewateko Kampala na Jadaman enai tunaweza Robi ai tunatesa hata mayu wako yama ain't no city like my city oh no Nairobi they can do it like we do it in the 254 Nairobi
Gigi
my hustler my damn super
hey
now I'm riding buru I love my city oh yes I do Nairobi
Gigi
my hustler my damn super
hey
now I'm riding buru I love my city oh yes I do
Nairobi Nairobi tumelock it kibobo kadunga mosquito sio shock things bobo hey lock it kibobo no shock things bobo
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Jimmy that Kasabun, Jimmy that say do what a track it drop down. Jimmy that say do na tuko boss that tunakubali confeso tunakubali flow inauliza na hii track inakubali sauti sawa na hii mic imekubali so iko power na mafansa mekubali swaga na yata madema mekubali kuteka tamu kachipoka kikubali kuweka tamu tapune tolikubali tira kama timi nakubali mtina kubwa walisa kubali tunakubali confeso tunakubali confeso tunakubali nimekubali nimalizaga drinks nikifika kwenye party I'm not a sock nimefiatu kiasi hence the name mad tracks aka mad kuiba chats nimekubali kungara what nimekubali kansoli kifika mambo yote kwisa nifunge tu pingu tu wengine na waibisha tunakubali confeso tunakubali confeso tunakubali Jimmy that guns so utakubali. Ile track inafanya unasikia kukamata manzi, ukimtupia lugha na kisha akikubali. Ukifika kejani shuma inarara da. Nilikuwa blinded nikakubali, manzi kufungua sauti anaongea kama mwakazi. Ile nilijitoa ni mteja apatikani, kwani hata wewe ungekubali. Tunakubali, tunakubali, tunakubali confeso, tunakubali, 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 tunakubali confeso, tunakubali.
Ilianza na ka selfie wakakubali, the cancel ni moto wakote ambali, tukatoa nyongwa ngoma ya kubati, nikaanza kuimba madem wakavua pant, nishakubali mimi babi na ombidho mimi vuta chini ya maji, na si siri mimi upendanga majani, napenda wade sexy kweli mimi visi.
Tunakubali, tunakubali, tunakubali confeso, tunakubali, 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 tunakubali confeso, tunakubali. Shuaga nayo, 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 na chuko ni boss.
Yes, we're right here in studio talking about Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's problems that are increasing, and tomorrow Parliament gets to make a vote. And of course, we've just explained that what happens is that 2/3 of Parliament must vote tomorrow in support of it. And then after that, the matter goes to the Senate, and the Senate has to investigate, and then the impeachment goes through. So let us assume we are in a world where Mr. Rigathi Gachagua has been impeached. So what are the next steps? The Constitution does not actually create a situation where the position of Deputy President is vacant. Why? If anything was to happen to the President, the Deputy President is next in line to succeed the President. In the event that something was to happen to the President and there is no Deputy President, then automatically that means that the Speaker becomes the President for a period of 60 days, during which elections must be held and a new president is sworn in. So that office should never be vacant. Now, Article 149 of the Constitution of Kenya provides that within 14 days after a vacancy in the office of the Deputy President arises, the President shall nominate a person to fill the vacancy. Okay? So number one, it's the President now to nominate. This time we actually get to see who did he really want to be his Deputy President. All right? Because there's been that argument that, oh, this guy was not my choice. All right? So now we get to see who really was a choice. So this power rests solely with the President. No one can make that decision for the President. So the President is the one to nominate a person to fill the vacancy. And then once that person has been nominated, the National Assembly shall vote on the nomination within 60 days after receiving it. All right? So you see that 60-day period. Now, if a person assumes office as Deputy President, then for the purposes of Article 148, and perhaps for this I need to just indicate what's happening at Article 148. Article 148 speaks about the election and the swearing in of the Deputy President. Now, timelines matter in the Constitution because if the person who will be nominated and approved by Parliament shall have served for a term that is less. So you have a 5-year term for a president in Kenya, isn't it? So if on the date the person assumes office, the new Deputy President, more than 2.5 years remain before the date of the next regularly scheduled election, then they'll be held to have served a full term as the Deputy President. Okay? But if the period remaining is not more than 2.5 years before the next election, then they cannot be considered to have served a full term as a Deputy President. Now, this is important because timelines are very, very clear. There is actually an effect. There's an effect on what happens if you go on ahead and serve what we call a full term, because it limits your ability to actually serve another term. So for instance, you can't serve the 2.5 years be deputy president again and then still be deputy president for the next guy. That cannot work. So that's why the question of terms is important. Anyway, we've now gotten to the point where Parliament has voted and they have said yes to the guy that President Ruto will have chosen. Now, once that has been done, the deputy president will be sworn in, and they'll be sworn in before the Chief Justice, or in the absence of the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, and in public. So this must be done in public, not in private. I don't know how they're going to get that done or how they're going to go about it, but it must be done in public. Perhaps the question is, what does in public mean? Does it mean in a place that can be easily accessible by the public, or can you swear he mean in State House? That, I think, will be a question that the courts maybe will help us to answer. Now, the deputy president-elect, or in this case, the newly appointed deputy president, will assume office by doing the following things. Number one, they will take and subscribe to the oath or affirmation of allegiance. Okay, and allegiance is you are pledging allegiance to the Republic of Kenya. Okay, and to the Constitution of this country. Then they also take an oath or affirmation for the execution of the functions of office as prescribed in the 3rd schedule of the Constitution. And I'm going to be reading this for you as we come to the end of our show. Now, the term of office of the deputy president shall run from the date of the swearing in of the deputy president. And when does it end? Number one, when the person next elected president is sworn in, or when the deputy president assumes the office of president, or on resignation, death, or removal from office of the deputy president. Of course, there is a very key clause in Article 146(7). The deputy president may resign from office at any time by notice in writing, addressed to the president, and the resignation shall take effect on the date and at the time specified in the notice, if any, or if a date is not specified, at noon on the day after the notice is delivered. Now, a person shall not hold office as deputy president for more than 2 terms. Resignation can actually be done, and I've seen conversations about this being done, and people have suggested that perhaps the deputy president who's there now needs to put in their resignation. That's up to them, but that is provided for. Why is this being touted as an option? Because once he gets impeached, he can never hold public office. Remember Mike Mbuvi Sonko? Mike Sonko was impeached as a governor of Nairobi. The next election cycle, he presented himself as a candidate for Mombasa. And the court was very clear. Once you've been impeached, it means you have been declared to be someone who cannot be entrusted to act on behalf of the public, and therefore your political career or your public service career is over. It's done and dusted. Sawa? That's what it means. When we come back, what oath does the deputy president take? And do you remember the drama with Gachagua on the day of taking his oath? We're going to be listening to that. But let's get some music. We're almost coming to the end of the show. If you have any questions, remember you can ask in the chat section, or you can send us a question on @Power254, at Power Radio, at James K. WaNjeri, and we're going to be responding to each and every one of those questions. Let's get some music.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Guerelia
Bisasia kuno doirie Ogeni gaidero Ojere joke Okuti wa kuja Shoka, girl, I need your love. Come give me some love. Guerelia, no gueda, o kare utuonane. Guerelia, no gueda, come and give me your love. Guerelia, no gueda, o kare utuonane. Guerelia, no gueda, come and give me your love. Come closer, baby. O kare utuonane. I'm closer, baby.
That's Murenge. She sounds like a bird. Fantastic voice, fantastic lady. And if you've not actually come across her music, we're going to be featuring, she'll be our feature artist on Saturday. Murenge, fantastic, fantastic artist. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've almost come to the end of this show. But remember, the Constitution requires that the person who becomes the new deputy president, should that happen, needs to say the following words. And I'm going to read them verbatim. I, ... do swear that I will always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will diligently discharge my duties and perform my functions in the said office to the best of my judgment, that I will at all times, when so required, faithfully and truly give my counsel and advice to the President of the Republic of Kenya, that I will do justice to all without fear, favor, affection, or ill will, and that I will not directly or indirectly reveal such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties and committed to my secrecy. So help me God. And with that, he signs and it's over. That's what the process looks like. So our eyes will be peeled because we're going to have a very busy end of the year and start to next year. Remember those timelines we've spoken about? It means that if the deputy president is kicked out, we're probably going to be having a deputy president by the time you go for your Christmas holidays. There you go. This is Kenya. This is home. Remember, this show also happens on Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. So see you here on Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. as we just take a look at more legal matters. And of course, I think this is one of those shows which you need to recommend to someone, because the people who listen to this show are people who are making fantastic decisions, and one day we'll be seated in positions where they can make some of these choices. Remember, in this show, we're in studio. We don't know who we're talking to, but our hope is that we're speaking right now to someone who will one day occupy a position where they can make these things a reality, because the Constitution of Kenya is a powerful and a beautiful document that has not been properly implemented. We need men and women who are going to implement this constitution, because when that happens, we are going to create the best country on earth. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely rest of the week. See you right here on Saturday between 1 and 3 p.m. Be safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, Kenya ni kwetu.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
Tunapita kama moshi na kabla tuzame mchangani, kuna kushinda na kufeli. Inabidi ujijue tofauti ya mwalimu na mwanafunzi ni ujuzi na ujuaji. Oh, it's unbelievable that we make it this far. Undeniable, we see the promised land from afar, and it's so beautiful. No, they can't touch the fire, and you know it's not in vain. Steady tripping through the pain. Oh, man. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. On the midnight train. Siku zazidi badilika, mengi yazidi kunipita jama. Oh no, maji yalipozidi unga, hawakudhani tutafika. It's unbelievable that we made it this far. Undeniable to see the promised land from afar. So beautiful, they gon' know who we are. They keep on walking in the rain. Kuna blessings in the pain. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady, ready, ready, ready. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, Zion. It's on our road to Zion. Nothing will ever deny us. Whatever it takes, keep on rocking. Whatever it takes, keep on moving. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Yeah, 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 yeah. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.